It started out just like any other day, except all I had to do was wait. 5 o'clock was the meeting time over in lot 89 of MSU. I don't think I could have been any more excited to drop my bags off by the side of that bus and find my seat for the long journey ahead of me. Just under 1,500 miles, 6 states to travel through, and an estimated time of over 25 hours. State by state we trekked, hundreds of miles in between rest stops, but it was all worth it, and with each passing hour, my excitement only grew.
To be honest, it's just become a sport that you could actually, earn a living and do your thing. And I thought that was so cool that the sports now have enough backing to where, before we weren't allowed to ride on mountains, and now it's like 22-foot half pipes. Having that appeal that mountains and the whole industry was realizing that this isn't something that's going to disappear. I mean, we're in the Olympics now. That was a giant factor in the upbringing of kids now to come into the sports, like baseball or any kind of mainstream sport. It's more feasible.
Hi, I'm Tom Sims. I invented skiboarding 18 years ago in 1963, and my intent at the time was to simulate skateboarding and surfing in the wintertime on the snow. We started out having just little 3-foot wood boards, and we've gone through trying plastics, and we're now working on this Kevlar experimental board. Kids that are into skateboarding and surfing are, of course, naturals, and they're already excited on it. But we see a much bigger market over the next 5 years. Check one out and at least try one.
In '81, actually, there was a change in the shape. They went from the narrower, maybe snurfer type to this wide shape. Just changed the game. Better float in the powder and just better ride. You'd put one of these on there that help you keep the nose up in powder. And notice, like I mentioned before, the front binding is more like a reminds me of water ski type binding, and then the back here is just like a strap that would go over your toes. The super big change then in '84, right in this era here. Then from here we started doing P-Tex and metal edges.
Skiing and snowboarding in the 80s, it was a scary place. Lawyers ruled the day. And introducing something new to that environment was not welcome.
The idea was skiing. It wasn't even snowboarding. I was going to go ski out in Colorado. Well, no ski areas allowed it, really. We had to go to Berthoud Pass so that we could snowboard. That was the only place Berthoud Pass would allow snowboarding. No, not Summit County, no Breckenridge, no nothing. You couldn't ride unless you hiked.
There, it took a while before we got onto resorts, and that was clearly a huge, move in terms of growing the whole thing and sort of making it bigger. But it was fun. There was no doubt about it. I mean, that's why I pursued it, with my life. And so I think once we got boards out there and people got, when we got them to sort of the right people and found the right ways to advertise them, and that's when it just sort of started to go. I mean, I think people just had fun on it.
Currently, snowboards are now being crafted by high-tech machinery with new improvements developing each season. Not only is the snowboard now being used by backwoods or terrain park junkies all over the world, but also by Winter Olympians as they rise to the top, displaying their great skills.
I'm a 64-year-old snowboarder who's good for a 64-year-old snowboarder.
From snowboarding being once shunned on all mountains, to now the second most popular winter activity, skiers and snowboarders now share the hill equally as a pastime, hobby, and a way of life.